Hey you guys, I want to welcome you back to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. That way you can be notified when I go live or upload a new video. And also, we're trying to reach our goal of 10,000 subscribers so we can have the gift card giveaway. Now, in this story, I want to deal with the story of Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard and how it all began. Now, we've been hearing a lot in the media about this trial of the century that's been taking place, and everything that's been going on surrounding this case. Now, Amber Heard is an American actress and activist born April 22nd, 1986 in Austin, Texas, to Patricia Page and David Heard. Now, Amber, she was raised in a conservative, God-fearing a Texan, and she was raised as a Roman Catholic. Amber, she was the apple of her father's eye. Her father taught her how to ride horses, fish, camp, and even to this day they love to go hunting together. At 16, Amber's best friend died in a car crash that had, it must have had a tremendous effect on her. She dropped out of her Catholic high school and declared herself an atheist. In 2010, Amber came out as a bisexual, even though, there were so many people that advised her against doing so. She felt that it was something that she needed to do, no matter what the consequences were. Now, Johnny Depp's childhood was much different than that of Amber Heard. We know he was born June 9th, 1963 in Owensboro, Kentucky, and is the youngest of 4 children. He was born to Betty Sue Palmer and John Christopher Depp. At the age of 7, the family moved to Florida. Johnny Depp has claimed that in his house that he or his siblings never were exposed to any type of real safety or security, which must have been, horrific. When he took the stand in his lawsuit against Amber Heard, he did say his father was a good man and recalled his life as a child. He explained how his mother, Betty Sue, would go off on these tangents, inflicting physical if you guys know what I mean by she would throw ashtrays and hit him in the head, or use telephones or high heels or whatever she could use or get her hands on to beat them with. With her, it was, I don't know how to say this. It was just a constant thing. And this is pretty much how he explained it. It was just a constant thing. And those, they never knew when it would happen. He had described times that he would try to walk past his mother and he would kind of, I guess, tense up around her as he was trying to pass her. And because he never knew when she was just going to just reach out and hit him. He said the verbal if you know what I mean, was almost worse than the beatings. It wasn't just the children that suffered at Betty Sue's hands. It was also his father. But his father was powerless to stop her, as he, too, was also her victim. And I know that a lot of times, guys, in many of these situations, people wonder, well, how is it that a man can be subjected to something like this? And it is so easy for this to happen. There are instances where certain individuals will prey on someone who they feel is weaker than them, or someone who is good-hearted and wouldn't hurt a fly. They seek out people like this just in order to victimize you. Depp, at about the age of 5 years old, would often look at his father and wonder, why does he take it? Why doesn't he leave her? He said his father always remained calm and always kept his composure in order to maintain a relationship with his children. So now we don't know if Betty Sue was ever threatening the father that, hey, if you ever leave, you're not going to see your kids. Maybe that's what kept him in the relationship, in the marriage. We don't know, but that could be possible, because that is something that oftentimes, people will use, is the children. Until 1978, when Johnny was 15, his father couldn't endure anymore and left. As a result of the split, Betty Sue became depressed, and she tried to end it. If you know what I mean, she tried to end it. She took a multitude of pills, which she ended up surviving, but was never the same. And she died in 2016. Now, there are people that have said that she became reclusive, like she would not get off the couch. All she wanted to do was lay on the couch. She got down to 78 pounds. That she just, was never the same after the split with her husband. Amber Heard and Johnny Depp began dating in 2012 and were married in a civil ceremony in February. Johnny, when describing his relationship with Amber, says he realized he was in a relationship with his mother in a sense, as he compared the relationship with Amber. Now, it wasn't so much that he felt like being in a relationship with Amber was being in a relationship with his mother. It was more or less that he was trying to use that as a comparison, that his mother was towards him, and so now that he was in this relationship with Amber, he felt as if he was also in the same relationship, the same relationship. He said that some people search for weaknesses in people. He told Amber everything, and I can imagine him doing this, because we do this in our relationships. We tell our significant other about ourselves, what we have been through in our life. And so Johnny had done this. He had sat down with her and he went over his whole life with her, telling her, this happened to me, my mom did this to me, and everything that he had been through as a child. And he feels that she used that against him. Johnny had previously been in many relationships before even meeting Amber, and everyone comes out to say that Johnny was never with them. Amber alleges that during their marriage that Johnny would become violent when drinking. She alleges that during the time of filing for divorce, Depp threw his phone at her, leaving her with a bruised face. However, a police spokesman came out and told people that an investigation into the DV incident radio call found that no crime had taken place, which led many people to believe that the bruise on Amber's face was fake and made using makeup. Johnny claims that Amber was not the victim of DV, that she is in fact the perpetrator. So I don't know how many of you guys remember this, but way back in that time, that is when the Me Too movement was coming out. Everybody, all the actors, actresses, people were coming out and saying Me Too. So there were a few people that believed Amber at the time. As a result of this, Johnny Depp had lost, I'm sure he's lost endorsements, he's lost jobs, parts in films. He feels probably like that he lost his reputation. People are not looking at him the same. And this has had to have had such a devastating effect on him that people could even look at him and think that he was capable of these things, But literally, all of that changed in January of 2020 when phone recordings obtained by the Daily Mail were released in which Amber admitted to hitting Johnny. In that recording, we began to see the real Amber Heard. She began looking like the aggressor, and this is when all the puzzle pieces started falling in place. We started to see some narcissistic behavior, in my opinion, guys. Now, this is just my opinion. We've seen, videos of Amber recording this poor guy at his worst moments. There was a recording of her. She was recording as he was self-harming. She took a picture of him as he was passed out, and she gave him an ice cream, and she took the picture like that. Even the day after his mom died, she recorded a video where he just wasn't at his best self. He was having issues. He was going through it that day. And when most of us can just grieve in the way we grieve privately, this girl was recording him at his worst moment. How do you do that? How do you just... And his mother just passed away. And all the while, she was encouraging his drinking. She was having a drink ready for him as he was getting home from work. At one point, she threw a glass at him, which ended up cutting his finger off. It was almost as if she was setting him up in a way. It's almost as Johnny himself described, a perpetrator who searches out for the weak. And unfortunately, there are just people out there like that. Just horrible people that would sit and they have nothing better to do with their life than because they get off on hurting other people for whatever reason. and they search them out like a lion. So yeah, it seems like a setup to me, so that she could use it later. Because if she had no intentions of, someone that was just in a marriage or whatever, why record all that stuff? It's like, I don't know. Johnny had even claimed that Amber defecated in his bed, which Amber denies. But can you imagine the mental state of someone who could be capable of that? Johnny also accuses Amber of having affairs with Elon Musk and James Franco, in which Amber also denies. But there are video evidence that it could be true, allegedly. So on May 23rd, 2016, Amber filed for divorce, which is also around the time of his mother's passing. And also she was able to obtain a temporary restraining order alleging that Depp had physically aid her. And you guys know what aid means, okay? So that he physically aid her during their relationship. On August 16th, 2016, a $7 million settlement was reached out of court. She withdrew her DV restraining order, and both Amber and Johnny released a joint statement saying, "Our relationship was intensely passionate and at times volatile, but always bound by love." So you would think Amber would have taken her $7 million and just left him alone. That's a good amount of money for just 15 months of being in a relationship or being married to someone. And it was reported that a non-disparagement clause was inserted into the settlement that prevented either party from saying anything negative. Amber began speaking out about her DV, although she never mentioned Johnny by name. Everyone already had assumed that it was him that she was speaking about. So in 2019, Johnny sued her for $50 million for defamation, and she in turn is countersuing him for $100 million. As we speak, this trial is taking place, and I will be uploading more videos giving my thoughts on this trial of the century. And so, I do believe what Johnny said, that sometimes there are people out there who seek the weak. And I think that those people prey on people who are vulnerable. And it's just, it's sad. So I just, and it's my opinion, but I don't believe that she's the victim in this. I don't think that he ever did any of those things that she claims. I do think they had a volatile relationship. I think that, he maybe did drink too much. I do believe he did probably do drugs, which is by his own admittance. He did admit to that. I think that she also participated in some of that. I think she encouraged that so that his condition eventually maybe became a lot worse, and maybe he was doing it a lot more just so that he didn't have to he could escape his reality of having to be around her. And he thought that maybe by doing that, and it's absolutely no excuse, but at the same time, I believe that if she was a victim of the DV, that there's no reason why, and there's people out there that's going to say people who are in these types of relationships can't just leave. Yeah, she could leave. This woman is rich. She has the resources. She has, she is not a victim in this. I don't believe. Okay, and just today, I believe it was today or yesterday, I believe the psychologist who evaluated her for PTSD said that she faked it. That she faked her answers. So, leave in the comments section. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think Amber Heard is going to win this case? Do you think Johnny Depp's going to win this case? I love me some Johnny Depp. I really do. I've always been a fan of his, and I think that he is somewhere. He is a good-hearted person. I don't think he would hurt a fly, and that's just my opinion. And so leave in the comment section, let me know what you think, and I will be uploading more videos on the trial.